Hello again, beautiful initiates of the Mystery School for Women. I can't believe the energy of today. It's just like in the breaks between these transmissions, I sit with myself and I am so blown away by the energy that has shown up within me to bring this idea into full fruition, to be able to host this experience for you today and to carry out every aspect so far just as I planned it. Welcome to the fourth and last transmission of Mystery School 888 Lionsgate Portal. In this transmission, we're talking about making your dreams come true. Now, I have a process for this that I'm going to talk about, but there is another aspect for making your dreams come true, a very, very, very important aspect that we're gonna cover. And this aspect is related to your ability to create resources for yourself to fuel your dreams. This is very important. So we're gonna dive in. What is the essence of this transmission? Making your dreams come true. We've talked about your gifts, we've talked about your will, we've talked about creating and turning your ideas into full-fledged creations. But now we're going to talk a little bit about dreams. And dreams are a little bit of a different category. Dreams are big. Dreams require identity shifts. Dreams can feel like they're very far away. A creation is something you have an idea for. A dream is something that you can imagine, but it's a different you. Dreams require for you to believe in your ability to become the kind of person that would live out your dream life. And what's interesting is that a lot of times we have dreams when we're little, when we're young. We have a lot of different dreams. We're like, I'm going to be this when I grow up, and I'm going to do this when I grow up. And a lot of times we're taught as children, you're just not the kind of person that is going to live that life. And this is taught to us oftentimes not because the grown-ups that tell this are like, I hate you, I don't like you. No, it's like they love you. They want to protect you from disappointment. Why? Because they have already given up on their own dreams. And there were probably reasons they gave up in their own recognizance. Like, I tried and I failed. Or like, it maybe could have happened for me when I was young, but now I'm not, so, the ship has sailed. Or simply like, well, in order to live my dreams out, I would have to be a whole different person, different life. And, I couldn't have the kids and the family, and I couldn't have, the career that I do. And it's like, it's just not meant for me. And so a child, you, dreaming limitless, declaring things, proclaiming things like, I am going to. And the grown-up says, man, this makes me feel the pain. This makes me feel the disappointment in my own dreams. This reminds me of the dreams I gave up on. The dreams that are just not meant for me. So let me do a favor to this kid. Let me just save them from the disappointment. Let me just tell them, probably not going to happen for you, kid. Just save them the heartache. Do them a favor. So a lot of times, very early on, we get this projected upon us. Like, you're not the kind of person that is meant to have dreams coming true. And a lot of times there's a little bit connotation of like, only people in that other country have their dreams come true, or only people who are rich have their dreams come true, or only people XYZ, people who are naturally, let's say for example that you want to be a model, right? And you're like a young girl. And then someone tells you like, you're short and chubby. You're not the kind of person that's going to be a model. Or maybe you're like, I want to be a president one day. And it's like, well, there haven't been any women presidents so far, so you know what? You're not going to be. So probably just give up. So whatever you say, whatever you proclaim, whatever dream you put forward at a young age, it often gets shut down because what people are projecting onto you is what is realistic for them, what has already happened or didn't happen for them. And you're surprised. You're like, well, I guess I don't know. I guess I can't be the president. I guess I can't go to space. I guess I can't be a model or a ballerina or whatever it is. And so you give it up. I was so fortunate. I had this beautiful, incredible person of a grandfather who passed away when I was 13 years old. But we had a special relationship. We weren't so very close. I didn't see him very often. He wasn't really part of my mundane reality. He was like a special occasions type of person. He would show up for my birthdays, my recitals, like important dates, and he would always take pictures and give me the most lavish gifts. My American grandfather. He was a bit of a legend, and I loved him so much. And I thought our relationship was just perfect because my reality was a little bit limited or restricted by the financial capabilities of my parents and maybe other factors as well. But my grandfather, he was like he made my dreams come true. He wasn't there when life was hard or where things were difficult. He wasn't there to really help out. He was there to make my dreams come true. And there was something else about him that was very special. He believed in my dreams. The dream of like having a very expensive Barbie, that he could make that happen. But otherwise, like a dream of being a lawyer, a writer, a ballerina, and a princess, all combined. He would never ever tell me, pick one. Or he would never say like, be more realistic. He would 100% believe in all of my dreams. And I'm so very lucky. He was my dream person. But I watched my very best friend from when we were little, and she was so ambitious. We were kind of competitive with each other, but it was fun. We would always like play games and compete, and we were the bestest friends. Still are. She was so ambitious. Like, she had the drive. I was like, gosh, like, where does she get it? And this is like, we're little kids, you know? So, and then she was telling me like, I'm going to be a designer. I'm going to design clothes. Like, I'm going to be a designer. She loved clothes and fashion, and she was just like so into it, and Barbies and the dresses. Like, she was so into things. And I loved dreaming with her. And I would say, yeah, and you know, and you're going to be a designer and I'm going to be an opera singer. Like, we had these dreams together. And then there was she would draw these sketches of dresses in her journals. She was like, I'm going to design these dresses. And I wanted to have a passion like she did. I was like, ooh, you know, what am I going to be? Like, I'm going to be a ballerina and an astronaut and a lawyer, but like, what's the actual thing that I want to do? It's so cool that she's like so passionate about a specific thing. And I just loved watching her draw these dress sketches and these like fashion outfits that she was going to design when she grows up. And then, this is going to make me a little emotional. There was a summer when she came to our little summer house, and we were neighbors. And she was just kind of down a little bit. And I said, you know, well, where are your sketches? Like, you know, where you're not drawing your dresses anymore. And she said, I don't know why this is making me so emotional, but it's like, this is how I really feel about women not dreaming anymore. She said to me, and we're like 11 maybe, she said to me, my mom said, it's time to get realistic. She told me, the chances of you being a designer are like 0. And you need to get serious and pick something that you can do in your life so you can survive. And it's time to put the childlike fantasies aside. It's time to get serious about your future. And I was so shocked. I didn't even know what to say. I was like, well, what do you mean? You know, your designs are beautiful. Like, how is it not realistic? And she said, you know, my mom told me like everyone wants to be a fashion designer. Do you know how many fashion designers there are that are successful? Like 5. And so you think you're going to be one of them? Think again. And no matter what I said, my best friend, she didn't draw dresses anymore. And she really wasn't excited about her future all that much. She became realistic. This best friend of mine, she recently reached out to me when we're close. She lives in Europe. We both grew up in Moscow, and she reached out, and she's having some stuff going on in her life, and she doesn't believe in woo very much. She's very realistic, very down to earth. And she said to me, you know, I think I would like to get a reading from you. and I was like, I can't believe this. Of course. So I conducted this reading for her, and you know, I'm seeing this come through the cards. And I'm like, there's so much that's meant for you. And she's very successful. She actually did become a designer, except she doesn't design clothes. She designs software. She's a coder now. She taught herself. She got a great job. She keeps like training herself. She keeps growing in her career. She's like really successful. And I was like, there is so much more for you. Like, holy F. Like, you're asking me about, like, the personal stuff, but I'm, like, seeing so much career stuff. Like, who are you? You're gonna be the CEO, like, girlfriend. Like, damn. Like, this is great. And she said, really? I said, yeah. She said, well, I just got a promotion yesterday. And I said, excuse me? Like, what? Let's celebrate. She said, yeah, and I actually thought to myself, like, does that even matter? And I said, why did you think that? She said, well, how far can I really go in life? Like with this, in this career? I said, like, to the point where you can have your own company. Like, there is no limit. What do you mean? Like, I'm seeing, you asked me for a reading, I'm seeing, like, your potential is, like, out of this world. Like, you taught yourself how to code as a woman. Like, and you're having this career growth. You just got promoted. What do you mean, how far can I really go in this career? Like, anywhere you want. And she said, yeah, but what is it all for? I said, this for the sake of it. I mean, it's exciting. And she said, there's some part of me that feels like it's missing. And I said, do you think maybe it's time to revisit the fact that you've been told that you're not the kind of person whose dreams are meant to come true? She said, you remember that? I said, of course I remember that. This part of you, look at you. You are reaching higher and higher and higher, but you're not allowing yourself to dream, because that inner child, that child aspect of you, it still believes what you've been told, which is you're not the kind of person whose dreams come true. But look at your life. Are you not? Because you really are. And in order to get excited about just how much is possible for you, you gotta let yourself dream again. And the point of me telling this story is, do you believe you're the kind of person whose dreams come true? Do you believe you're the kind of person whose dreams come true? This is an important question, because obviously you are. That's your birthright. It's not something that you're excluded from somehow. But you can exclude yourself if you have accepted, especially in your childhood, if you have accepted from someone else's suggestion that you're just not the kind of person whose dreams come true. This is important. It's important to look at, because I've always believed, I'm going to be super transparent here. This is a distinction that I think makes a big difference. I've always believed that I'm the kind of person whose dreams come true. But this was because my dreams were cultivated. My grandfather, and let alone the rest of my family, but my grandfather, he believed in all of my dreams. And he actually provided evidence by giving me some things, some gifts that I dreamed about. He was both the source of making my dreams come true and also the person who believes that any of my dreams were possible. There was this person in my life who was specifically all about my dreams. And I'm so fortunate. I love my grandfather so much. I have such a connection with him, even though he's not been here for the last 28 years. No, 18 years. Sorry, bad math. He passed away when I was 13, so. But I had that. But there's a lot of people who don't. And I've worked with a lot of clients who don't believe in their dreams anymore, who don't even let themselves dream, because it's like, the dreams are not for me. I got kids, I got family, I got this job, I got this situation, I live here, I'm from there, my parents are this and this and that. And it's like, you have accepted that you are excluded from dreaming, and you have to reclaim the fact that you are the kind of person whose dreams come true. This is the first step. And I know a lot of these transmissions today, we're talking a little bit about step by step. Well, it's because it's easier to remember, but it's also something that you can take notes on. This is something that you can integrate. So the first step here in making your dreams come true is accepting that you are the kind of person whose dreams can come true. That's one. The second step is protecting your dream. If I say, I'm going to be someone who has a multi-million-dollar portfolio one day, like just investments alone, passive, I already have the money, I have it invested, it's working, these things that I have invested in are just working, and I'm getting these dividends, I'm getting money just for money working for me, like nothing to do, nothing, everything else I do is like separate. I just have a bunch of investments and they support my lifestyle. So everything I do and come up with, all the work that I do, all my business, it's extra. Okay. And let's say that's my dream. I'm just using an example. Okay. And I say that's my dream because, that's a little far from reality. And the kind of woman that I am, having a multi-million-dollar investment portfolio, it's a little stretch, even kind of seeing who that would be as me right now. And let's say I just say, you know what, it's my dream. And then the next day I'm like, okay, I decided it's my dream. I believe it, I believe it, I believe it. I'm the kind of person whose dreams come true. No matter what it takes, it's going to happen for me. And the next day, I look at my bank account statements and, I have debt. And my account balance is like maybe a couple thousand. And some of it has to go towards my bills this month. And then I have a little bit saved, like a couple thousand in savings. And then I have maybe a couple thousand in investment portfolios. It's like, yeah, that's okay. But like millions, that is very far. And so when I look at that and I say, my reality is very far from my dream. Is this really going to happen for me? And I start looking at my current reality. And that current reality cannibalizes my dream because it's like, girlfriend, you are so far from it. It's probably not even going to happen. And so reality kills the dream. Why does it happen? Well, it's because we don't really have a distinction between what is manifested and what we're manifesting. What is manifested is your current reality. Like the backdrop that I have, the dress I'm wearing, this tripod that I have, the lighting, and all the things I see around me, that's manifested. It's done. Like it exists. I have it. But there's a little, you can always backtrack with everything that is already here, that already exists. You can always backtrack to like when you didn't have it. Like I remember I was filming during daytime in my apartment in a different town. And I didn't have a light. And the ring light was the one that I have right now. It was like over $100. And I didn't have the money to buy it. And so I didn't have the lighting. And I didn't have it and I couldn't buy it because I was super broke. And I was doing these live streams and they were a little cringe, but I was teaching myself how to be comfortable being live on camera. But, it was important. But I couldn't film at night because I didn't have the light. Or I filmed under like regular lights. So there was a time when this was not manifested. But then my dad was like, what is a birthday gift? I would like to give you a good gift, something that supports your whatever you're working on. Something useful, something that serves a bigger purpose than just like a gift card. And I said, I would love to have a ring light. And then the ring light manifested. And it's manifested. Let's see, about 6 years ago. So I've had it for 6 years. But you know what? When I look at it, it exists. But at one point it didn't. And it was like, I won it so I could film at night. But then I had it and I got used to it and it's manifested. Everything around you that it already exists is manifested. Everything that you are creating, everything that you dream of, it's something you're manifesting. It hasn't happened yet. And the mistake that we make is we use the existing reality as evidence of whether or not our dreams are possible. How does that make sense? Everything that you already have, that already exists, it has nothing to do with where you're going. It's done. It's over. It's here. You have it. There's not much more to it. It is what it is. You have manifested it, and it's done. It's complete. It just is. I'll leave it alone. But then we look at the dream. You're like, let's say the dream of having a couple million in investments. Or let's say, how about this? I want to charter a excursion. This is great because this is like an actual dream of mine. But this is okay. Let's say charter an excursion through Egypt's most ancient sites. Not just, private excursion. That's no. I want to also hire a full filming crew and editing crew and a producer and a script writer and a director that I don't want to be myself. But I want all of them to listen to me because it's going to be my ideas. And this is going to be the first season of my televised show about the ancient Egyptian magic and the ancient history, the ancient sites. And it's going to be like a little bit of a psychic show too, because it's like, I'm going to go there and I'm going to tell the history. I'm going to be like the broadcaster, right? I'm going to talk about the history. I'm going to walk around. They're going to film me like walking around and like making all these faces like, and like, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to like, just, it's going to be like historic. So I need some researchers on my team as well. But then also I'm going to have like a meditation sessions where I'm like sitting inside the pyramid and I'm like, I'm tapping into something here. And I'm going to like use my tools and the cards and I'm just going to tap in and channel and who knows what else. And I need special access to like the king's chamber in the pyramid and I need like special access everywhere. And it needs to be like no tourists. So when we film, when we go there, permission from Egyptian government to do this, like full scale production. How much is it going to cost? Right. And also, how in the world would I do all of this? And I'm like, this is my dream. And I'm like, you know what? I can really see myself doing it. And then, I look around and I'm like, I live in Charleston, South Carolina. And I work full time in the family business. And I have my psychic coaching practice that I run online. And I'm so grateful for all of it, but there is nothing in my current reality that tells me that this Egyptian dream is going to come true. Like a crew? Like who would even if I had the money, like who would that be? And how would I get the permission from Egyptian government? And like, who is going to let me into all these sites? And how am I going to know the history besides the history that I do know? Like, where am I going to get all this additional information? Who's going to let me do my rituals and readings inside these ancient sacred sites? And also, who is Katarina Barry on that scale to have that show not only filmed and edited, but also televised? Like, who's going to televise it? And, and I look around and I'm like, there is no way. Nothing in my present reality tells me that this is even possible for me. So, you know what? Maybe in another lifetime. But there is nothing in my present reality that could be of any use. because it's already done. So why would I even look around? So what do you do instead? If you can't use your present reality as any kind of tool to help you manifest your dreams, then how do you manifest your dreams? Well, what I was just describing, this is actually the first step. Well, the first step was you have to believe that you're the kind of person whose dreams do come true. But the actual process, the phase one is you gotta visualize. You gotta really connect with it. Like when I talk about this, I can see myself. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I can see myself walking around Egypt and like wearing the wrapped around. I've been in Egypt. I actually manifested. It was a dream that there was nothing in my reality that told me it could even happen, but I manifested it. And I'll share a little bit about that in a few moments here. But I was in Egypt. I actually manifested my dream of going there when I was 12. Didn't know anything about manifestation. I just did it. And I did it in a beautiful way. But I know that it's possible to manifest Egypt. So there's some pathway there that's like, yeah, my dreams do come true. It has happened once. So there's a little bit of confirmation there. So using that seedling, when I talk about what I was just describing, I can see myself walking around and a Jeep safari and riding on a camel and having the crew, and I'm standing by the pyramid. And I've seen the photo shoots. I've seen the videos. I can see myself. Like, I know what I'm wearing. I can see myself standing there and then, talking. And the film just zooms in and I'm like, this is the ancient temple of Queen Hatshepsut. She was a female pharaoh that pretended to be a man so she could hold the power. But she was the female pharaoh. And even though the history wanted to erase her, and I can just see myself, and I'm descending into the temples in the Valley of the Dead. And, and I'm standing by the Sphinx, and I'm, talking about Anubis in the kingdom of the dead. And it's just like, I see it. And it's like a great show. I'm like watching it on TV, actually. I'm not just living the filming of it. I'm watching it. It's real. There's other seasons, I can see myself going to Amazon, and the traveling to remote shamans in Peru and Ecuador and sitting with ayahuasca and talking about my journey of ayahuasca in North America, and then going to the source and having these experiences and documenting, exploring the nature and the sounds of the cicadas in the wild jungle in the night and the huge tarantula crawling around. I'm like, look at this spider. There's so many seasons. Like I'm all over the world doing this. Visualizing. If you have a dream and it's your dream, you can actually see it. Oh, you can see it. But your brain interrupts and goes like, How is that going to happen? Where do you have the evidence? Look around. Does anything confirm this dream? This is not possible. Blah, blah, blah. But this is not the faculty of the mind. This is imagination. This is your third eye. This is like where you see without seeing. Like, I don't see myself walking around the jungle of Peru and drinking ayahuasca with shamans in Peru by looking at my room in South Carolina. Like, there is nothing here that would be anything from there. Like, there is no connection. Why would I look for that connection in my current reality? So close the eyes. When I look here, right, I can see it. I can see that. I can see so much more. It's a dream. But it's so real because it's my dream. And it's meant for me. Now, what we've covered so far. Okay, so I believe I'm the kind of person that dreams happen for. And then I'm not looking at my current reality to confirm that my dreams are possible. Instead, I look with my imagination and I can see my dream very clearly. So this is where you find yourself. 2 mountain peaks. You're here. This is your reality right now. And then you see yourself there. This is Katarina sitting in this room doing this broadcast right now. I'm here now. This is Katarina in Egypt filming, talking about the temple of Pharaoh Queen Hatshepsut. I can see it. I'm there. 2 mountains, 2 peaks. You're here. You're looking at yourself there. Not looking at physically, but you get the idea. And there's this whole just steepest, deepest abyss separating. You're here. You're there. And between you here in the present and you here in your dream, it's just whole 2 mountains, 2 peaks. How do you do it? How do you get there? Well, actually getting there, when you look back at yourself now and you're there, like when I'm in Egypt filming and the crew's like, Katarina, that's a wrap for the day. Like the sun is setting and the desert's going to get cold. And I'm like, you know what? We got another 15 minutes, you guys, let's go. When I look back on this moment right now, talking about this here with you, it's going to be like, oh man, that seems like it was yesterday. Seems like I've just talked about this. I can't believe this is actually happening. Have you ever had that? When you've dreamed about something for a while and then you got it and you're like so excited and then you're like getting used to the thing and you're like driving the car of your dreams, or maybe you're traveling to your dream destination, or maybe you're, connected, you found the love, you're with the person, you're like, gosh, I remember dreaming about this relationship. Seems like it was yesterday. But it wasn't yesterday. And it wasn't just a day. It was dreaming and dreaming and dreaming and dreaming and dreaming. So the shift is seamless. You are here at this mountain peak, and then you're there in your dream. And when your dream becomes reality, you look back at yourself dreaming, and it's like, just yesterday, it feels like I was dreaming about this. Now look at me. Gosh, I can't believe this is reality. So the shift is like, it's almost like there is no time, even though it's not really true. It feels like there's almost like, it's like you jumped from one mountain peak to another, but that's not how it happens. Manifesting your dreams requires your willingness to protect the dream, to not use evidence of what already is in your life as anything to do with your dream, to leave it alone, to protect your dream. And then you have to be willing to start going for your dream, which means you need to get down the mountain you're on and up the mountain where you want to be. And so this meets a lot of resistance from your mind. Like, for example, this dream that I just described. Let's say I just start looking up filming crew, filming in remote locations for hire. My mind says, what are you doing, girlfriend? Like, why are you looking at this? It's not like you have the money for it. It's not like you have any kind of plan. Why are you even looking at this? It's like, I'm looking at this because I'm going to be using it one day. So I better start looking now. And then I start looking at like permission from Egyptian government to film at sacred sites. And it's like, my mind's like you're going to ask for it. Like, what are you doing this for? It's not like you're actually going to do this right now. It's like, no, not right now, but I'm going to do this eventually. So by the time I actually do it, I'm going to know. So this is going to be handy and useful. And it's like, and maybe at a gathering, somewhere, and I meet some people and they're like, hey, I write scripts for TV shows. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm actually working on a project. I'm going to get a crew together and I'm going to film this sacred sites of ancient history. And I'm going to do like mediumship at these locations and see what kind of energies I can channel. They're like, oh, cool. That's great. Okay. I can connect you with some people. And it's like, oh, people connecting and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, my business is really picking up. Money's coming in. Maybe I can use some of this for this project. And then it's like, and then maybe I have some screenwriter, and then I have maybe a little bit of a crew and some money flowing. And then it's like, I write to the Egyptian government. They're like, no, we're not going to let you into the sacred sites. And the mind's like, your idea, not going to happen. Your dream, not going to happen. You were doing it all. It's all a waste. And it's never going to happen. And it's like, no, it's going to happen. It's like, you know what? Let me see what I can get to, where I can film without this permission. And it's like, and then I'm filming there, and I meet someone, and they're like, you know what? I love what you're doing. I actually know the someone in the government that if they heard about what you're really doing and how you're illuminating our ancient history, I think they're going to grant you the special permission. You have to protect the dream every step of the way, and you got to start scaling the mountain. And what I mean by this, it's not like hard work. You got to work super hard. This nothing to do with hard work. This isn't the realm for this. It's about taking steps like your dream is already coming true. Like, not acting as if, but like acting knowing that it's happening, even though there's nothing in your reality that says that it is. You're creating the reality that says that it is. Yes, vision boards are great, but I'm talking like next level, beyond vision boards, like looking at flights, looking at crews, looking at costs, looking at permissions, looking at what you need, the documents, looking at this. And you know what, your mind, it puts up this resistance, like, what are you doing? Like you're gonna use it. Like, what is this for? Like, stop it. But then it kind of gets on board because you've shown yourself enough, you're taking enough steps, you're kind of actually starting to believe it. And then you start talking about it. You're like, you know what, I'm filming this show. And people are like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it. And then you start believing it so much that like naturally you start actually taking steps, and the rest falls into place. But you have to have faith. And there's something else that I said that's going to be a little surprising here. But you have to have a good, loving relationship with money. Yup, I'm going there. Why? Because believing that you're the kind of person whose dreams come true is very closely connected to believing that you're the kind of person who can have any amount of money to make your dreams come true. No, I'm not talking about delusion. Not like, oh, I don't have money, but I believe I have all the money in the world. Like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Actually, money goes where there is a good use for it, in addition to many, many other things that are identified with the energy of money, that are, how can I put this, that are specific to the energy of money. There are rules by which the energy of money operates. Universal rules, completely impersonal, by the way. But there are rules to how the energy of money works, because it's an energy. It's not a person, it's not a being, it's an energy. And so there's a lot to that energy that can be learned and mastered. But I'm talking about believing that you're the kind of person that can have any money, any kind of money, to make your visions, your dreams come true. Because if you believe that, no, you can't, And you're just not the kind of person. You don't ever have the money, and you can never have this much to do that thing. Then it's very hard to start taking steps towards your dream, because it's like, at everything that you see, you're like, gosh, it would cost this much. Okay, I can be the kind of person that has the money to fuel this dream. That's fine. You don't need to have it right now, but it's like, you have that faith. But if you look at it, it's like, how much this costs? And your first thought is like, I could never have this kind of money. That will be a problem. That will be a big problem. So this is where I'm going to talk a little bit about the final of the 4 3-month-long journeys with me that are available for you to take. And this final journey is manifesting dreams and money. Hand in hand, completely connected to each other, these two are. We're going to spend 3 months together. And I'm going to teach you everything I know about the energy of money. And I know a lot. Not only do I know a lot, but my relationship with money changed my life. Changed the way that I see my dreams. Changed the way that I see myself as a creator. My relationship with money is responsible for so much happiness in my life. And I say this with pride. And I say this here in Mystery School for Women, because if I could recall every single time that I've been told that spiritual people don't do well with money, and money is not spiritual, and money is blah, 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 and you should just, do this thing for free, and you should just, so much stuff, like money is not important, money is not happiness, we don't have money, but we're happy. Like, the amount of crap that I heard about money, and specifically in the context of spiritual people or creators, is insane. And most of it is crap. I'm gonna be super honest. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you know what it does, this type of crap? It really doesn't help us create what we're here to create. What our beliefs about money are, and our relationship with money, what it is, it prevents us from living out our fullest potential. And there is a way to change it. It's not hard. It's not long. It takes practice, yes, but so does everything else. If you say, I'm going to start drinking a glass of water every morning, and you drink it one morning and then you're like, okay, I'm done. That's not going to make much of a difference. But this is why I want you to do this with me for 3 months. I want you to be in a container with me for 3 months, where we are continuously devoting time, space, and energy for you to manifest your dreams and money. We are rewiring what you believe about your dreams. We are changing what you believe about your capacity to hold money. And we're doing this together, these two processes hand in hand. Now, if you're like, Katerina, that sounds really awesome, but honestly, I don't even know what my dreams are. We're gonna uncover them. Your dreams may be so big, they're gonna blow your mind. And that may be why you can't quite touch them. Because they're so big, they're so meant for your soul, they're so meant for you in this life, not some other life, not the next life, this one. That if you were to touch them right now, you would feel like, ugh, this is so big. Like, how would I ever even? And this is why it's good to be supported. And also, this is why it's good to work on manifesting your dreams in tandem with making your relationship with money a relationship that's filled with love, support, happiness, joy, and trust. Just like your channel, it is safe to trust money. Just like your will, you can master the energy of money. And this is what I want to teach you. But this goes beyond teaching. Just like every other experience that I've mentioned in these transmissions today, this is about accountability. Because you can say, yeah, I want to believe in my dreams and manifest them, and I want to manifest a beautiful relationship with money. That makes so much sense. That's so good. I can totally see myself doing that one day. That's one thing. It's a good feeling thought, which is great. But practice in these two realms, it takes courage, it takes commitment, and it takes days. When you run up against the belief, the conditioning, the generational outlook that you've inherited, and it's just like, yeah, and it's just like running into a concrete wall, and you're like, ow. And you're like, you know what? Today, I'm like not believing in any of this stuff. It's so easy to turn around and say, screw it, whatever, my life is good enough. But having this level of support and having this accountability means you get to share this with me. And I get to tell you, guess what? Today, you just put it all down. Don't think about anything. Just go and sleep it off. But tomorrow, we're picking it up again. We're just getting started. It's huge. I'm not here to be the kind of guru that gives you a new thing and gives you a new blueprint and poof, I wave my wand and you're changed. That's not it. I'm the kind of guide, mentor that you are taking yourself there, but I am holding space for you, and I'm holding you accountable to what you really are capable of. And I'm not saying, oh, you poor thing, yeah, I don't think you're really capable of it anymore. I say, you know what, you take a break, but I know who you are, and I see you in your fullest potential. And that's who I'm going to have a conversation with tomorrow. But tonight, you know what? Let's just relax. But tomorrow, I'm talking to the powerful person that I know that you are. And we're going at it. And we're not going to stop until we get there. For 3 months, we're going to work on manifesting dreams and money. Two things that go hand in hand. This is one of the 4 journeys that I talked about today. And it is part of the master key as well. So by itself, manifesting dreams and money, it is 321, 321 paid in full, or 123 per month for 3 months. If you decide to get the master key, you get all four. You get to master Oracle, work with divination tools and your gifts, direct your gifts in a way that you can serve yourself without ever seeking out any other authority, but also hone in the gifts that only you have, and also be able to be the medicine to other people who may not be on the path of focusing on their gifts, but they could really benefit from you being the master of yours. You get to create your future through this art of journaling, the high magic of journaling, in crafting the kind of life that you really want to live consciously. You get to take your ideas and see them become full-fledged creations, just like this very mystery school that you're enjoying today went from an idea to, look at us here on the final 4th transmission. Your ideas, though, your creations. And then you get to master manifesting dreams and money, 2 things that go hand in hand. A full year with me, all 4 journeys, 3-month long each, a full year, 12 months. The master key is 888, and it includes all 4. Now, if 888 is not something that it feels like, okay, this is for sure, there is a payment plan as well. It's $88 a month. It ends up being a bit more. But if it's comfortable for you to make a commitment to working with me for an entire year, and $88 a month feels safe, feels good, feels doable, feels accessible, it feels like you're gonna stay in the experience because every month you're making that payment, and you're like really investing in yourself every single month, and you're staying with the current of our work together for an entire year, 4 different journeys, then this is perfect. Separately, each journey is 3-1. Again, 3-1 paid in full for each, or 1-3 per month for 3 months. The master key is where it's at. The reason I say this is because it's a year-long commitment. And this is my favorite way to work with clients, is working with clients for an entire year, because we get to go very deep and we get to develop a beautiful relationship. My client, Ashley, came to me last year, came to visit me, and we had a beautiful ayahuasca ceremony. This fall, I'm going to see my client, Claire, in Scotland. And then my client, Jamie, that is in 2 different containers with me. We're planning a get-together soon as well. My relationships with long-term clients go beyond a one-on-one, once upon a time encounter. This is deep. This is a connection that goes beyond time. And this is truly profound. So this is something that I want you to consider, is doing a full year with me and working on these 4 different journeys, 4 different elements of your power, your sovereignty, your will, your creation, your gifts, your dreams. That's a commitment you make to yourself. That's an investment in yourself. And the effect of this honoring of your power, it will ripple through all the timelines of your being here on this earth, in this life. It can change everything. And I really do believe that. So I invite you to explore taking one of these journeys, or perhaps several, but more than anything, I hope that if you've enjoyed this experience today, and it felt like it was needed, it felt like it changed things for you, it felt like it shifted things for you, and you feel like you can go so far with my support, taking these teachings even further, taking them from intellectual level to a lived, experienced implementation, embodiment, then I invite you to spend a year with me and see how far we go together, and see the woman you will become in the space of taking this commitment to yourself beyond this experience today into the next level. All right, I will hop off and I will see you for the very final little bit in about an hour for our closing ceremony. Thank you for being here. I'll see you soon.